Hi crafters, welcome back and thanks for joining me today. This is Jana with Purple Girl Crafts. Today we are going to make this fun fold card. Now, I don't know the exact name of it because I found it on Pinterest and it was in another language and it was done in centimeters. I've converted this to inches. As you open the card, as you can see, the inside circle will spin or rotate, and I've got Season's Greetings in there. You do need some die cuts, nesting dies to cut this. But other than that, it's pretty easy to make. I hope I've explained it well enough so that you can make one on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we'll need is our scoreboard. And for our first piece, which is going to be the base of the card, this is going to be cut at 5 by 11. And on that same side, you're going to go ahead and we're going to score this at 5.5. Then we need 3 pieces, and these are all the same. And these are going to be cut at 5.5 by 4 3/4. And I've used Christmas paper from the Michaels collection. Then we need 1 piece that is 3.5 by 3. I'm going to flip this over just to make it a little bit easier. We are going to score this at 1 and 2. Then you're going to turn it and we're going to score this at 1/2, 1, 1.5, and 3. So this is what we will have so far. So I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to put X's in the areas that we are going to cut away. Then I'm also going to draw just a line. You want about half of this piece, this section cut, and then you're going to cut away that bottom section on each side. So I've popped up a diagram that's going to be sitting up here for a few minutes, and this is going to show you exactly the areas that you want to cut away. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to score the X's when we're done. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and cut this. Again, just follow the diagram above. And my paper is not matching the direction of the diagram, so don't follow what I'm cutting. Follow the diagram. Okay, let me move these extra pieces out of the way. And then this is the piece that we're going to end up with. Now we're going to score this. You're going to want to line up the 2 edges. I'm just going to grab my pencil. I'm just going to show you exactly. We're going to draw from diagonal lines from corner to corner. And so I'm just going to line it up so it's on one of these lines and then score it. Now, if you wanted to, if you weren't comfortable with drawing your line, you can fold this piece in so that you can exactly see where the corner is. And then you want to just do it from corner to corner, if that makes it easier. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold that other piece in. And then we're going to fold that bottom flap in, and all these are going to be inward. And then you also want to do it the opposite direction, just so that the paper's got a lot of give and so it'll fold nicely. And then I'm just going to fold this one in. We're going to do this one upside down first. Fold the other diagonal fold. And then we're going to fold that center piece of the diagonal. And then as you can see, this will start to fold. I'm just going to fold these again, just the right direction, and score those out. And then as it starts to fold, you want those to fold in. And as long as your pieces don't overlap, you know you've done a really great job. So this is exactly what you want it to look like. and then just go ahead and crease out that point. Now, you want the two arms that are going to be extending if you're going to use two circles. You don't need both, but we're just going to leave them on there for now, and I'll show you why in a second. So right now, I'm just going to glue those two flaps down, and the flaps, all they're for is to add just a little bit of weight to help the mechanism so it doesn't collapse. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So we're going to move that to the side. We're going to move our scoreboard out of the way because we don't need it right now. And we're going to work on the base of the card. Now for this piece, we're going to glue the pieces on before we cut our circles out. It just makes it that much easier, and you don't have to worry about measuring it. And your die cut should be able to go through 2 layers or even 3 layers. So I'm going to glue my first top piece on. Just make sure that's centered. And then I'm just going to flip the card upside down so it's the same way. And then I'm going to glue the other side so I've got it for front and back. We're just going to glue that right on the same side. Now before we fold this in half, we're going to do the circles. We're going to do the die cuts. So I'm going to use my larger die cut. And this piece measures, let me grab my ruler, 3 3/4 inches. You want to make sure you've got at least a 1/2 inch from the side. You just want to make sure that this is centered. And I'm just using some very low tack old wasabi tape just to secure this down when I cut it out. Just going to put 2 pieces on here. Okay, that looks about even. Okay, so I went over to my machine. I can't do it on camera because it's on the other side of the room, but I've cut out the circle. And don't throw away your circle because we're going to use that. So this is the piece that you should now have. Now you can fold your card in half because we've already scored it, and then just crease out that score line. So this circle measures about 2 inches. So we're going to put this in this extra piece that we cut, because this is actually not the extra. This is the circle that's going to be on the inside of the card. So you just want to take and just make sure this again is centered. And I'm just going to tape this down, and then I'm going to cut it out. This is sometimes the hardest part, is just making sure you get it really, really centered. Okay, so I'm going to go cut this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now my center piece is cut out, and I'm just going to lift that out. Again, you keep this circle because you may use this again. And this is, remember, it's the 3 layers, but just keep it because we might use this again, and I'll show you in a minute. So now we're going to work on the inside of the card. So we're going to glue that last piece in to the inside back of the card. And again, you can use your double-sided tape, or you can use glue, whichever you prefer. So I'm just going to glue this down. Make sure it's lined up, and then just go ahead and just use my bone folder just to push that glue out. Now we're going to take the mechanism, and we're going to glue this down for the first side. So we're going to glue the flap that is away from the arms, and you just want to make sure that this is in the center of the circle, and then just push that down. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my bone folder. I'm just going to really just push that down. I want to make sure that's secure so it's not going to move. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to work on this arm one more time. So we did not fold this one flap in. So the flap at the very bottom, fold this in, and then go ahead and crease that out. And that's the flap that's next to those two arms. Then you want to just lift this and you want to push those arms in so that the paper is the opposite side, as you can see, and then it looks like an arrow basically. For the circle, you want to put it under those arms so that it's sitting like this. So you can see it underneath the arm. And then right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to line up my pattern as best I can so that it lines up with the rest of the pattern on the card. Okay, then I just turned it back over and we're just going to set it there. So this one arm we don't need. So we're going to just go ahead and we're going to cut that, and you can cut it with your scissors, but if your scissors are in the way, I'm just going to tear it off. So we don't need it. That's if you want to do another circle, you can, but we don't need it, so we're just going to cut it away. So I'm going to fold that back in. So right now, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put glue on that arm. So the easiest way is just to fold it so that you can see the pattern side of the paper. Put glue on it, just on that one arm, and then lift it back up and then turn that arm back in so you're seeing the wrong side and it's going to lay flat. So just like that. Then you want to put glue on that last flap that we just folded down, only that flap. Then take the card and just close it on itself. So hold that down just a little bit, making sure everything's lined up, and then just close that card and then just push that glue down. And then as you open the card, you'll see that your circle will turn. This is such a fun card to make. Once you get the dimensions, it works out really well. So now I'm just going to keep pushing that down. So next what I have is I printed out Season's Greetings, and what I did is I can show you is I added, let me just grab one of these. I added just a little piece of paper to each letter just so it had a little leg to basically stand on. So when I glue these down, we're going to glue these all around the outside of that center circle, and they're not going to be seen. So as you can see with where I'm putting it right now, and you're just going to have to play with this and figure out where you want them to go. So as we glue the letters down, so I'm going to grab just a piece of tape so I can show you. They're not going to be seen on the card because there's enough room between the card and the letters. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put my S to where the card is open. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of tape on here. I'm putting it upside down because I just want to show you what we're going to do. So I'm just putting this S on here, if I can get it to stay. So I want it right in the corner because it can't go too far. So I'll put it right about there, and then as you can see, as the card closes, you can't see it because it's the way the card spins. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put all of these letters, just line these up to make sure that they fit. So and I'm just going to put all these around the entire thing. I've got Seasons, and then for the greetings, I did it going the opposite direction. Now you could just keep Seasons and then Greetings going the same direction if you wanted. That's up to you. So I'm going to move all these out of the way, and we're going to glue these down. Now the easiest thing is, because we made that little arm, is I'm going to glue that arm onto the circle on the back side. So I'm just putting just a little bit of glue, and then again I'm just going to put that down with the card open so I know where the letters are supposed to go. Make sure that adheres, and then I'm just going to close it just to make sure that it's not showing, which it's not, so I know I'm good to go. And then I'm going to continue to glue all of these down. Now I'm going to use my quick drying glue because the white glue isn't holding as good because of the glitter letters that I used. And I just want to again make sure there is no glue at the bottom, and then those are secure. Now as we went through this, if you remember, we've got 3 layers. We've got the 2 pattern paper, and we've got the white cardstock in between. Since I didn't glue these all the way down, I'm actually starting with the A, I started sticking the little arm that we made on each letter inside, as I'm showing you here, the circle, and then that way it's glued on the inside, so I don't have to worry about glue sticking to the bottom of the top. And you can put more glue on here and make sure it really is secure. So I'm going to continue putting all of these down. Okay, so now I have the seasons completely glued down. Just once I get this in there. Again, I'm gluing it between the layers. And as you can see, when the card is closed, the letters won't show. And as you open it up, they'll spin. So I'm going to continue with the greetings and get all of these now glued down. So as I just secured that last one, I'm just going to again use my bone folder just to push that glue all the way before I did it. Okay, so that is the inside. So now we've got that last circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one bigger circle, and this is going to go on the inside. You don't have to have this. I just wanted to break up the red in the card. And this is probably about a 2-inch circle that I'm using, or probably 2.5. It's going to go right in the center. So I'm going to glue this, and you're just going to put glue just on that little triangle piece, again, on the top side of it this time. And then I'm going to glue this first circle on. I just want to make sure it's even all the way around. Just make sure it's centered. There you go. And that will be for the center of the card. Then what we're going to do is I have my little angel. I'm going to glue her to the front. I'm going to use that circle, the patterned one, just to break up the color again for the angel that's going to sit on top of there. So I'm just going to glue my circle down. Again, I'm just going to make sure it's in that center of that white circle. And this would be fun, as just there's so many possibilities with this card. Now, the one I saw had a bunch of flowers on it. You open up the flowers spin. I just thought adding the letters would just be a really nice Christmas card. All right, so I'm going to put foam dots on my angel just because she needs a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to put a few around her. I'll pop those off. And they are not easy to come off. I see people use the poker and they just pop them off like it's nothing, and mine always seem to not want to come up. So I'm actually just holding the piece down with the edge of my finger and then popping it off. Okay, so now we're going to put this right in the center of that circle. And this is another one of my creations that I did. I think I drew this one last year. So I'll make sure she's centered and she's popped off there a little bit. And then I also have some snowflakes that I cut out. Now when you put these down, you want to make sure if you put any on the inside that they don't get in the way of the letters when the letters are turning. So if you put one here and you close it, see, it'll get in the way. So you probably don't want to put any on the inside. You could put them on the inside flap, but don't put them on the inside. So I'm going to put a couple of these around. And now you could put them on the circle on the top and around her. That would be fine. So I'm just going to randomly glue some of these around. And then I also have just some jewels that we're just going to put just to add just a little bit more dimension. And again, you can put these anywhere that you want. These ones I got from the expo that I went to that I won from iOutlet. So we'll just put just a couple around. There you go. That is the card we made today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Until next time, happy crafting, and I hope to see what you make. Bye-bye.